Well, I hope you brought your DeLorean today, Kitch, because we are headed to the future of Microtech knives. Let's check them out. All right, guys. So we're going to start off with some new OTFs from Microtech Knives. They're models that we've had before, but several upgrades and different improvements on them. So we're just kind of going to go through them one by one. We're going to start with the Cypher II, which is pretty famous for that John Wick movie.
Yeah. So this was John Wick's knife. This is it, but a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So obviously looking at it, the first thing that kind of like struck me was there's no hardware other than the clip screw.
Yeah,
and then it's,
sweet.
you know, all the way through. You can run a lanyard through there and stuff. Got a nice milled titanium clip. And then what Microtech is calling dual fuel drivetrain technology.
Smooth, right?
They say it's the smoothest out the front out there. And man, it's pretty close. Like,
yeah.
If it's not, it's up there. It's a tie.
Yeah.
The Cypher II is really cool. I really like the Wharncliffe sheep's foot kind of reverse tanto blade you get. And then ergonomics on it are really good too.
Right. I remember the Cypher being very long. Like it was a very large knife. I like this one. It's kind of smooshed down a little bit for a more everyday carry friendly package. It's got that new steel that's Microtech's proprietary M390, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Apocalypse finish, action's great. Love that clip.
Yeah.
So you'll find a lot of these similarities throughout these new models as we run through them. But we just want to start with the Cypher II, really nice knife. The next up is the Scarab. It's the Scarab II. This is a big knife. This is probably one of the biggest in the lineup.
This one is a tank for sure. So it's the Scarab II Gen III.
Gen 3.
So this one is real nice. Same thing. You got that super smooth new action.
Whoa.
They got the crud cutter on there. So a lot of times without the fronts, you can get some like pocket lint underneath your button.
Okay.
And then that could get, you know, to where it goes here and then it just stops. It binds up. The crud cutter should kind of make it roll, grind it up to where it won't do that.
Like expel kind of off there. That's neat.
Yeah, I think that's really cool too. And then the Scarab, you know, it's known for this big, thick button.
Yeah.
And with that new drivetrain in there, man, it like, it's awesome.
Super smooth.
Super
Fits
easy
your
to
thumb pad real nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does. Feels good. Plus, like, you know, if you're like poking into something, you can kind of get on there.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Fluted blade to expel dirt and grime as well. And then this is the only one of these new ones that kind of has the classic Microtech glass breaker.
Yeah. They kept it really tactical, I think, with this one. I think that's the main audience for the Scarab II. This is a really nice knife. I like the traction inserts on there and the way that clip lays back there.
Yep.
Really nice.
It's not going to eat your pocket up.
Exactly. So that's a big one for you guys out there. This next one we have is the Hera II. You might remember the Hera as being kind of more of like a Troodon size.
Yep.
The Troodon, like the smaller one, not the combat, but it got bigger.
Yeah, it definitely went to combat Troodon size.
Yeah.
Even looking at them side by side on the table, there's a lot of similarities. This one is kind of fluted all the way through, and then once again, they kind of did the no hardware thing on this.
Yeah.
So it's got a really clean look. And then they're blacking out their logos now. They're just engraved in there.
I like that.
I really like that too,
that a
yeah.
lot.
And then, once again, super smooth. This one has the roller ball on the titanium clip.
Oh, yeah.
And then it has just a little ball glass breaker back here.
Nice.
So you don't have to deal with the big DNA catcher poking you in the hand.
Right. You can definitely tell the innovation and how much they thought about this because this had to have been years in the works because these upgrades, they're amazing. It's just like has to be years of feedback and just tinkering with these models that everybody loves and just making them better. I don't know if we mentioned this already, but the Torx hardware on the ones that do have the hardware is switched over to their Torx instead of the proprietary like triangular hardware that you can't really mess with.
Yeah.
So that's a really neat upgrade for me. I really enjoy seeing that. So this is your combat Troodon, and I know it's one of your favorite models.
Yeah. So I own the regular one, you know, the original, the OG. And whenever I saw this, I was kind of like, man, that's pretty cool. Is it really that much different? I have to wait till I get it in my hand. Once I picked it up, it feels significantly lighter in the hand. And then it doesn't have the scallops up here, which I thought I would miss. I don't miss that. I kind of like this. Smooth.
Oh, interesting.
It's got this nice little divot on both sides right here.
Yeah.
I like it like a whole lot.
Feels
Feels
good.
really good. And then super smooth. They're doing the double edge. They're going to have a single edge come out soon. That one's really cool. It's a drop point. Got kind of like a little clip on it, like a clip point, but not quite.
Sweet.
I like that a lot. Rollerball pocket clip. And then, like we mentioned before, they went to Torx, which I really like because mine doesn't have Torx. And that's something I really wish it did have.
Yeah. That's a really amazing point that you point out there, that you think it feels lighter. And I agree.
Yep.
If you've ever held a combat Troodon and you've been like, man, that's just too big and too much knife for me to carry around in my pocket, they really lightened it up for you, which is really nice and cool. And that action is way smoother. easier to open and close for sure. I know a lot of guys out there are like, man, just really chews up my thumb.
Yeah.
That's not going to do that.
Especially in the combat Troodon, that's like a common complaint is that like you got to have really tough thumbs to even open the thing. And you'd open that thing with your pinky. Yeah,
100%. So I think the future of Microtech out the fronts is very bright. Our next group, up next, Skitch, we have some out the side models, auto and manual. First one I want to take a look at is the LUDT. As you know, one of the most popular knives of all knives in the last several years.
Yeah.
It got an upgrade.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how fast these sell because the regular LUDTs couldn't keep them in stock.
Right.
So the updates to this guy, obviously the new M390 MK steel, very similar blade shape to the original. It has maybe a little bit more point to it, and then it has a much more pronounced choil up here.
Yeah, I know.
And then they kind of squared this off to make it an actual usable finger choil. So like your finger locks in there really good. So ergonomics really good. Then they have the 3M grip tape on both sides, and then a new pocket clip. So obviously, if you look at it, that's clearly the SOCOM pocket clip.
Looks like the SOCOM clip.
So that's pretty neat. Those are really cool upgrades. I think probably the one that you would notice the most is going to be that it runs on ball bearings. So it flies out. It's super smooth to close too. I know that on some of the old ones that I could feel them get kind of tight as they started to close. I don't know if that was more the button or the fact that they were on washers, but this one on ball bearings, I mean, like it is like buttery smooth.
That seems kind of unheard of, don't you think? Like, can you think of another out-the-side automatic that's got bearings in the pivot?
You know, I spend 8 hours a day looking at knives, and maybe there's one that slipped past me, but I don't think so.
I know. I can't think of one either. It's a great-looking knife. I think it's a really nice rendition, nice upgrade to the LUDT model. It feels great in hand. It's lightweight. It's a really nice EDC choice, I think, out there for the Microtechs. Yeah. And now it's super smooth opening and closing.
Definitely.
Really love the action on that knife. Great model.
Yeah, so I think that that's going to make this a great everyday user automatic. So it's got Torx Hardware. You can take it apart, clean it, put it back together. You can kind of beat on it. You know, it's going to be pretty bulletproof, man. Yeah. Like, that's a pretty awesome, like, user EDC automatic.
I think we're all pretty excited for the Torx Hardware. Very nice.
Obviously.
So we're going to go to some manual knives now, and this is the Stitch, if you can believe it. It's got that new RAM-LOK.
Yep.
Really nice.
This was one that as soon as they announced this, obviously I saw the MSI first, and then they announced these shortly after. I was like, man, because anybody who knows me knows that I love the Stitch, but I hate that it's an automatic. And then the actual Borkas are like $3,000. So the fact that you can get a Stitch that's a manual and is really smooth, runs on bearings, has those awesome like Stitch ergonomics, and then just like the classic Stitch look.
Right.
And then also, you know, RAM-LOK, that's a pretty beefy lock.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Love that lock.
Man, like this one is, this one's going to be hard for me not to call it Knife of the Year already.
Right.
So,
right. And we're early, right?
Very early. So
I love this. So I love this G10, guys. So it's really thick G10. If you look at the thickness on this, super thick. It's got this fluted texture on it. It's got a clip insert, so you can flip the clip to the left-handed. Really nice clip on there. Comes with their new proprietary M390 MK blade steel. And I'm with you. I've always loved and admired the Stitch from afar, but I really was not a huge fan of the auto with the aluminum handles.
Yep.
This is it.
Yeah,
this is the Stitch of the future and that we all have been craving, I believe.
The Stitch that we deserve.
It definitely is. Feels great in the hand. Like I said, it's got a kind of a thicker handle to it. But it doesn't really kind of like bow out like that automatic one. You know what I mean? It used to be kind of rounded. This feels really great. Fits in the palm. Just fantastic. It's great knife.
The fluting is awesome too. It adds a lot of texture. Like, and it's not rough on your pocket because of the way that the lines go away from it.
Right.
It's knocked it out of the park on that one.
Great job, Microtech. And finally, we have for you a model that I myself have never seen before. I've never even had one in my hand, but it's called the Amphibian II.
Just Amphibian.
Just the Amphibian.
Amphibian RAM-LOK.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so the Amphibian's a model that had been out for quite a long time, and it was an automatic, and they were pretty rare. You didn't see them very often. Obviously, you know, like you've been selling knives for
I've never seen one.
half my life. Never seen one. So, you know, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But now we have it in RAM-LOK. And this was honestly a knife where, like, I looked at it, and I was kind of like, ugh, I don't like that. And then I picked it up, and I was like, man, I kind of like that. That's pretty nice. Yeah. The ergonomics on this thing are stellar.
Yeah.
You got like this kind of like little thumb scoop to get to the thumb stud. Works awesome as a finger choil.
Yep.
You can kind of be back here using it. You can choke up on it. And like, I hate recurves. I like this one. I don't know. It's got aluminum handles too.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome too. So they're super lightweight. They're milled out just for the RAM-LOK. And then other than that, they're solid. Got this like cool little like almost one-piece looking backspacer.
Right.
And then this one has kind of the milled clip instead of the deep carry clip that you get on the like MSI and Stitch.
Right.
And then, man, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. You hold some of these new models and it's like, what did they miss? They didn't really miss anything. You try to point them out and you're like, maybe that or maybe that. No, they feel great.
Yep.
And this one's so unique with this recurve blade and this like stepped thumb studs on both sides, keeping it ambidextrous, both sides, the lock, plus, like I said, the clip and the clip insert. It's a really great knife. It feels good. It's got this little like thumb scoop on the top, right past the jimping here. Feels really good. It's a big knife. It's a good sized knife. I'm not gonna lie. And like you said, when you look at it, you might go, oh, I don't know, but it's a really nice knife. I think they killed it on that one. They're doing the bearings, the smooth action. I mean, auto or manual, Microtech is definitely killing it right now. All right, guys, we hope you've enjoyed looking at the future of Microtech with us today. So generally at the end of these videos, we kind of try to pick out our favorites. We're going to include cameraman Shane today. So I'm going to start. I'm going to go with the Cypher II. I'm a huge fan of this knife. It's a great size. It looks futuristic to me. I just love all the different textures on it, all the way down to the blade. The blade shape really hits for me too. So the Cypher II is going to be my pick this week.
It's got like a really cool like cyberpunk thing going on with it.
And no hardware. It's
no
crazy.
Hardware. It's crazy. I didn't even notice that until about 30 minutes ago.
Cameraman Shane is going to go with Combat Troodon.
Yeah.
It's been upgraded to a level that he just can't resist. It's much lighter than the other one. We got that crud cutter in there. It's a really nice titanium rollerball clip on there. Just all the things that I think highlights things that Shane loves.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome knife too. They let me pick two. So I'm going to go Amphibian because, like I said, it was a knife that wasn't even really on my radar. And like the looks of it, just not my thing. Like I don't like that.
You don't generally do recurves, do you, Kitch?
No, I had a recurve one time in my life and sold it because of that. So I want one of these. And then, of course,
he doesn't know why.
The second pick. Yeah, I mean, just something about it. Stitch. How can you go wrong with a Stitch?
For Kitch.
Yeah, Stitch for Kitch, exactly. We should start a hashtag and you guys should buy me one for late Christmas.
Late Christmas.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's nice. I really like the green on there too. The G10's fantastic.
I like everything about it. The RAM-LOK's awesome. One of my favorite locks from last year. MSI was probably my knife of the year last year. If we're counting knives that we got in this year, it's got to be the Stitch. Yeah,
being truthful, they did such a good job on all these models. It was super hard to pick something. For some reason, he got two. So.
Yeah, special.
Yeah, you'll love them all. We promise.
We know it seems kind of like we might be like hyping this up, and it's just because we're like selling them. But this is genuine, honest to goodness. We just really like all these knives. So you guys hit the comments down below. Let us know what your favorite knives are from this lineup, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks for watching.